Welcome at Maths Form 4, topic Linear Law, Lesson 3, question. In the diagram below, the variables x and y are related by the equation y equals qx squared, where q is a constant. That's all given. And then we see what is the question asking. Find the value of p and q. We find one by one. Find the value of p. So the question is asking p. I am going to start with p. They are asking p. We put a question mark. P. As usual, step 2, start from what they ask. They are asking p. I shall go to the p, which is the y coordinate of a point. And I label as capital Y because we are doing linear law. So the first coordinate, 0, must be capital X. And this point, 0p, is connected to another point of 411, which we also label as capital X, capital Y. Since we have 2 points, I shall put as x1, y1, x2, y2. Now if you notice, the capital X1, capital X2, referring to the x coordinate, which are labeled as capital X, and the y1 and y2 referring to the y-axis, which is the capital Y. Okay? So now, if you notice that the capital Y involving small y, capital X involving small x, and this small x and small y is related by the equation y equals qx squared. That means I'm going to start with the equation of y equals to qx squared. And this equation, because we have a power, it is non-linear. And since we are given a straight line, that means the non-linear, we have to change it to linear equation. We have to change it to a linear equation of the form capital Y and capital X plus C. Okay? So that means the non-linear, we have to change it to linear. And since the non-linear has a power of power 2, that shows that we must use log. Okay, we must use log, the formulas of log. So I take the equation, which is y equals to qx squared. I'm going to use the formulas of log because there is a power. So I apply log base 10, and log base 10 also can be written as LG, short form. So both sides I'm going to put log base 10, log y base 10, and log qx squared base 10. Remember, LG means log base 10. And if you look at the right hand side, right hand side, this is similar to log A times B. It is log A plus log B. So this right hand side, I'm going to use this formula, which will give us log Q plus log X squared. Right hand side, left hand side, I just copy back log Y. And if you notice, from our log, the power 2, we actually can bring it down to multiply. So now this becomes log Y log Q plus 2 log X. And if you look at this linear equation, the X term is here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exchange this and this, change place, which will become 2 log X plus log Q. And left hand side, just copy back log Y. We have got the linear form. I'm going to write back the formula capital Y and capital X plus C. So from here, by comparing both equations, we find out that the capital Y is log Y base 10, which is true, log Y base 10. And then the gradient is 2. I'm going to write that back. The gradient is 2. So we got our first equation. And then capital X is log X, which is here. Capital X is log X. And finally, the C, the y-intercept is log Q. I'm going to write that. The C is log Q. Okay, now I'm going to use the gradient. Why? Because we are given straight line with 2 coordinates, and the P that we are looking for is in one of the coordinates. So now, gradient, use the formula of gradient, which is capital Y1 minus capital Y2 over capital X1 minus capital X2. Okay, this is 2. All we have to do now, substitute Y1 minus Y2, X1 minus X2. We go back to the graph. Y1 11, Y2 P. So it is 11 minus P over here. That would be 11 minus P over, again I have to go back, and then I have X1 4 minus X2 0. X1 4 minus X2 0, which is 2. So now I have 11 minus P. Of course, 4 minus 0 is 4. And this 4, I bring it up here times, and I would get 2 times 4. So we have 11 minus P equals to 8. Let me add one paper. So of course this will be easy. Negative P bring the other side. 8 bring this side. I have 11 minus 8 equals to P. Therefore, P is 3. We got our first answer. We have our first answer, the value of P. Now, second part. They were asking Q. If you look here, find the value of Q. Okay? I'm going to start as usual. I'm going to start from what they asked. They are asking Q I go to the equation above involving Q. And now I realize that the log Q is equals to C, which means if I want to find Q, I need to find the C. So before we find the Q, we need to find the C. And in order to find the C, I must go back to the equation involving the C, which was y equals to mx plus c. Keep in mind, if I want to find the value of C, I must replace the value of capital Y, the value of capital X, and the value of gradient. And capital Y, capital X got two value. Capital Y, capital values, I can use x1, y1. I can use x2, y2. I will choose x2, y2 because we have 0. I will choose x2, y2 because we have 0. So now I have y2p, x2, 0. That is, y2 is p and the x2 is 0. And we already have the gradient M. We have it here 2. Okay? So I'm going to substitute the 2 plus C. Okay? And what was P? Again, P is already 3. So I substitute the P equals to 3. So this is 3 equals to, of course, 2 times 0 is 0. So we have, our C is 3. But the purpose of looking for C, so that we can find log Q is C. So I'm going to write, I'm just going to copy this. C is log Q. That C is log Q. Okay? What is the value of C? C is 3. You remember? LG, it means log base 10. The Q, I copy back. Now I stop for a while. I have to go, because we are using log, I have to go to the nodes of log. If you remember in log, if I have A equals to log B power C, this is from log, If I have A equals to log B base C, therefore the B, that B is equals C power A. It would be C power A. C power A, sorry for that. That would be C power A. This is completely from log. I can do another one for you. If I have log A power B equals to C, therefore the A is actually the B power C. B power C. So this is what I'm going to apply over here. So now 3 is log Q base 10. Therefore, I have that the Q is equals to 10 power 3. 10 power 3. Of course, 10 power 3 is 1000. Use your calculator. And I have my Q, which is our answer. Okay. Thank you for watching. I see you on the next lesson.